No one can compete with GMC's dually, and I'm going to explain why in this video. I borrowed this truck from Jerry Seiner, Buick GMC here in South Jordan, Utah. Be sure to ask for Frank if you are in the market. They have this one and a second one over there available for sale. Let's go ahead and check out the window sticker so you guys can see the pricing and options on this build. Starting off at the very top is the description and the colors, and then here's a short listing of the standard equipment. Be sure to pause it. Base price is going to be $55,600, and here are all the options. So you have that Duramax, and then the Pro Safety Plus package, Gooseneck. This thing has a lot of options. Black assist steps, convenience package, and a lot of things on this side here. So a lot of small little features that were added, like all weather floor mats, bed view camera, 120 volt plug, snow pile prep package is right there with camper. Destination comes in at $1995. Total price is $72,365. So pricing is the #1 reason why they can't compete. But the other part of it is you get a lot of nice standard equipment. So on the front end, you guys will see these LED headlights do come standard. That's going to give you the accent lights as well with the animations. Front parking sensors, recovery hooks, chrome bumper, and overall this refresh looks really good. It doesn't look like a cheap truck until you see the wheels though. For 2024 they did start adding this badge here, and you guys see down below you have your engine block heater, steel wheels wrapped in a Michelin tire, LT 235/80/17, pretty typical size there. And if you wonder what the capacities are, it's right here. 3,085 pounds for single at 80 psi, and then you have 2,835 pounds for dual. Independent front suspension. Also, you guys can see they have the fabric material for the wheel well, and then here's just a better look at that suspension too. Have your shock absorber right there. Okay, and fixed running boards in black. Not a lot of chrome on this truck on the side though, and that might be a good thing for some people. Now you do have the forward lights here when you're stationary with the turn signal lights here, blind spot monitoring, backup lights for your trailer, and these are power folding. Door handles are finished in a plastic. 36-gallon fuel tank. That's the only letdown on the GMC trucks. I really wish that they would add a 50-gallon tank option, at least for the dualies. 7 for that DEF. And you have your steps, front and rear of the bed. And of course you have the clearance lights too on the front and rear fender flares. And then here's a good look at your suspension. So they do have 3 suspension setups with the GMC HDs. This being the dually, you have 4 in the main pack right here. That bottom one's going to be a helper spring, and then you have 3 in the overloads. If you get a single rear wheel 3500, they'd have 5 leads in the main pack right here, and then 2 overloads. And if you get a 3/4 ton, they'll give you 5 leads in the main pack, unless you get the max trailer package, then it would mirror the 3500 single rear wheel. There is availability to have a wheel well liner after the sale. They don't offer it as an option, and of course you're gonna have steel wheel front and rear, which is a good thing because then they'll match. Have your clearance lights inside, and they give you full LED taillights as well. Rear parking sensors, class 5 hitch, and they give you a 4 and a 7 pin right here. And surprisingly, you have an assisted tailgate, 400-watt plug and bed lights, and then you have your 4 and 7 pin plug for your 5th wheel prep package, and then that bed view camera right there. Now you do see that it is missing a sliding glass in the rear though. It's been a long time since I've seen a GMC truck without a multi-pro tailgate. It almost looks weird to me. And then down below, you guys are going to see that rear axle. It's going to be a 342 rear end because it's a diesel. It's going to be an automatic locker, and then there's your spare tire, matching wheel and tire. Now if you are looking at the Pro model, there is 3 powertrain options. One being the gas engine, which comes standard. It's going to be a 6.6 liter gas LAT, 10-speed transmission. Up next is this engine, which is the 6.6 Duramax. It's going to have 470 horsepower, 975 pound-feet of torque. 10-speed transmission, and then finally same engine, but you get the PTO with the transmission. So that's going to be power takeoff, and that'll allow you to run any equipment that you may have if you decide to take off the bed and put something else on. Now on this engine, it is pretty reliable. I think that if you were to compare with the Gen 1, the performance is definitely a lot better. I mean, even though the power only went up from 445 to 470 for horsepower, that's still a pretty good jump, but it's the way that they redid the combustion and the new turbo, which makes this engine shine. And in case you want to see the bottom of the truck, there is a plastic skid plate on the front end, which is nice to have. You guys can see that transmission right there, wax coating. That's your DEF tank right there. And then further on back, you guys will see your other fuel tank for your diesel, and then that's pretty much it. So as far as the interior goes, you're going to see the 2023 and earlier pickup interior. So for some people it doesn't matter because you're still getting a lot of nice features. The only negative I will say on this truck, because it's a work truck model, you don't have any lumbar support, but you can't push the seat up and down. So for some people, if you're a little bit shorter, you might want to step up to an SLE trim level. That way you can adjust the seat upwards. And on this truck, let's see. Yeah, it does not have a telescoping steering wheel, so it's just tilt. But look there, you have some auxiliaries. I haven't seen this in a long time in the GMC. And then here's your tow haul mode, four-wheel drive system. You don't have four-wheel drive auto. And then some of your lighting's right there. And back to the door, power folding outside mirrors. That is a nice touch for like comfort, right? Especially if you're parking off street. And then you guys see you have the auto up and down, and then auto down for everything else. But yeah, definitely a step down for the interior. But getting inside is pretty easy. You have these running boards and your grab handle. Let's go ahead and start it up. Push button start. Again, a nice feature to have. And then here's your gauges. Now I will say, I do like having analog gauges. Sometimes I miss this because it's just simple, right? And if the screen goes out on the newer trucks and the higher trim level trucks, well, unfortunately, you don't know how fast you're going. There's an alert right there for your like collision right here. So it's just gonna alert you, and you can change the distance for that. And then here's your screen. It's gonna have your backup lines, and then of course if you need to hook up to your trailer, you have that one as well. Now you saw that this had bed view camera, right? This is your bed view camera right there. I think that's kind of silly. They should have just added it here. I'm not sure why they did it that way, but nevertheless, it is what it is. Cruise control, if you didn't see it earlier. And this screen here has a lot of nice information. So you have your speed, you have your trip. Hopefully you guys can see I'm getting a little bit of a blur there. Sorry about that. Trip 1 and 2. Fuel range, timer. You have your tire pressure monitoring, oil life, air filter life, brake pad life, following distance, and then fuel filter life, DEF tank, and then it shows you the transmission fluid temperature, trailer brake, engine hours. You can change the units if you like to metric, and that's pretty much it. Gear limiter is on here, and then you can lock in what gear you want if you're towing a trailer. And yeah, there's not a lot to this interior. I mean, it's still a nice interior. It's basic, and most people looking for a basic truck are going to prefer it to be this way. You still have LED interior lighting. Now, unfortunately, they don't give you lighting for your vanity. On this side, you still have a mirror. And Apple CarPlay, Android Auto is a part of this screen here. So if you don't have navigation, no problem. You can use your phone for it. Shows you the temperature, the time right there. Single climate control, engine exhaust brake is here. And then you have your lane keep assist alert. So it's not going to steer you. And then you can drop the tailgate from inside the truck. Caution light, traction control. You have your trailer brake, 2 USBs, type C, type A. Now you still get this guy on this interior. You lose that on the higher trim levels, and then you have this one here, which was an option. Here is the center console. Storage here, cup holders. And if you lift up, you have 6 passenger, and time to trigger some people. You can put your firearm inside of here, and this is lockable too, so that way you can keep all your valuables inside of this location here. Now if you need to use this truck for a bed camper, 4,458 pounds is the capacity. That's not the payload. And then you have a little bit of storage right here. And then this is just the passenger side. And then out back, not much going on. No seat back pockets. I feel as though, how much money are they really saving not giving that small feature to you? And you don't have any storage below the seat. However, you still have air vents, which is nice. 2 USBs. And that's pretty much it. And you get a 60/40 bench. Ram doesn't give you a 60/40 bench. Again, you know, I think that manufacturers are kind of silly. Like the little things that they can do. Like, give us seat back pockets standard. I'm glad at least they give you a 60/40 bench. But let's go ahead and check out the payload. As far as the axle ratings go, gross axle in the front is going to be 6,000 pounds. This one did have the camper package, but they do have class leading gross axle rating in the rear. So 10,400 pounds, that's higher than the F450 as well. 14,000 pound gross vehicle weight rating, 17 by 6.5 wide wheels, and then payload is 5,358 pounds, 20,000 pound conventional towing, 31,000 for gooseneck, and this truck weighs 8642 on the curb. Lastly, here's a yellow sticker for the tire pressure. Oh wow, 80 on the front, 80 in the rear. That's probably because of that camper snowplow prep package. That's exactly why. I've never seen it at 80. I think it's like 60 if you don't have that package. So this is something to consider. If you run 37-inch tires, you don't want to get the camper package because your tire pressure monitoring cannot be messed with, in other words, so you can't change the PSI for that. But I hope you guys liked the video. This is definitely a nice truck. And I think for the price point, you know, call Frank to see if he can get you a good deal on it. And like I said, they do have 2 of them here too. So this is the other one. See you guys soon.